Hi, everyone. Good job making it through the weekend. I just want to say I'm really excited at how many of you in your reflection on the research you did, those of you who did it, and we'll cycle around to that in a second, that so many of you reflected of, oh my gosh, there's so much information. Yes, there is so much information. Um, and the way that you try to filter that is by narrowing your topic. And that just takes time and skill. I mean, honestly, that's part of what you're learning. Um, and that's where a librarian can help. So I can't stress enough, that's the job of a librarian, to help you find the information you want. And remember, one of the things that you should have learned in that library page, but if not, I'm going to remind you here, is, I think, quick links. There we go. Library. GCC Library has Ask a Librarian. There we go. So notice over here in the right-hand corner, Ask a Librarian. One, you can go to either of the campuses, Main Library or Library of North Campus. But also there is a chat, a web chat, Ask a Librarian, and it has hours. And then you can also email and schedule consultations. And so folks, that's what they're paid to do. They're paid to help you find the information you want and need for your classes. So, I mean, obviously as part of 102, it's my job to introduce you to this resource. Even for this class, even for this particular project number 2, you might want to use them. So that makes me transition. First tip, first comment was, yes, lots and lots of information. Welcome to the world of academic scholarship and resources. 2, I want to remind everyone, please remember that Project 2 requires that you have sources from 3 different disciplinary areas. So I'm going to go back here. Where'd it go? Yes, the disciplinary branches. Please make sure that you spent some time with these, and that Project 2, the goal of Project 2 is more to introduce you to the world of academic research, that it exists, introduce you that there's these big kind of categories that group together academic research, and within those categories are specific subdisciplines. A lot of times when I call subdisciplines, you usually think in terms of majors. Slight difference there, but it's easy, it's okay to lump those together at this point. And the point of Project 2 is for you, one, to be aware that all this scholarship exists, which a lot of you are like, oh my gosh. 2, be aware that these kind of big disciplinary branches exist above majors, above actual disciplines. And then 3, in most cases, I can very rarely think of a topic that somehow isn't researched and discussed in these different branches. Now, it might be a radically different angle, but the topic is covered. And that's kind of part of what I want you to explore and realize. And in short, it probably means you'll learn something new about this topic, especially if you stayed with the same topic from Project 1. Project 1, you were saying, I'm an expert in this topic. You claimed expertise and experience. Now I'm going like, okay, I'm going to introduce you to the world of academic scholarship, and I want you to learn, oh, wow, there's a lot of ways for me to think about this topic. And my guess is you will learn something new about the topic by kind of researching it different branches. So I just want to remind you, for Project 2, you must have scholarly resources from each of these 3 branches. So if your topic tends to lean more towards the sciences, you might have the tendency to go like, oh, I'm gonna get all these science articles because that's what's relevant to me and my interest in this topic, or that's how I tend to think in terms of this topic. And part of the point of this project is to kind of push you out of your comfort zone with your topic and to think of it from these different perspectives. So that's a requirement. You must have these different ones. So all that to say is, obviously the assignment that asked you to go do research in the databases, don't blow that off. Don't just be like, oh, here's 4 from humanities, I don't care about them. You have to care about them. You have to have at least one chapter or article from each of these sources. On that note, I can't stress enough, Be sure that you're probably pulling articles, journal articles, as opposed to books, because you don't have time to read a book in a class that moves this quick. So you want to find, chapter or article length texts. Okay, so that's number two. Number two is the reminder you must do these three categories. Number three, we had problems with the templates in both the course reflections and in the Project 2 research templates. Someone took the last name, and instead of right-clicking and copying, making a copy, like I showed you to do in the last video, and then going in and opening it and starting and renaming it, someone basically just opened the last name and renamed it. So part of what I want to show you, hit remove, you'll notice over here it has owners. Oh, well, one thing, this may look different. You might have big tabs on your screen. Notice in the upper right hand corner this icon, list view versus grid view. I confess I don't like grid view. I prefer list view. And in list view, because I see things like who's the owner and when it was last modified and by whom. So all that to say is that for some reason, one, please, 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 whenever you have templated assignments, make sure you make a copy. But two, if for some reason the template is not there, what you can do is go find the owner. And I'm gonna do this showing on someone else's. Go find the owner and find the one that's owned by me. And then what you can do is go over here to File, Version History. And if you go to the oldest version of it, so what's interesting here is, if you go to the oldest version of it, it should be, if it's the one that's owned by me, it should be the original. And you can copy and paste that and start your own. So that's kind of a workaround for the template. But more than anything, this is a reminder, please, please make sure you copy the template. And the same thing, so that happened in the course reflections, someone did that, and then also in Project 2 in that research, the collecting resources worksheet, someone again accidentally started, instead of copying, they started the document. So please, please make sure you do that, because your classmates, basically when you do that and your classmates don't know how to go rescue the clean copy like I just showed you, you've shut them down. They can't do the work because they don't know what to do because you stole the template. So don't steal the template, copy the template. I think that's the last thing. I'm going to ramble. Let's quickly go look at what's due in this next deadline. Oh, yes. No, I haven't finished grading Projects 1. I'm on a plane tomorrow, so I will have them graded by end of Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday, tomorrow, is another due date. They come fast and furious for you. You'll notice basically more library work, more reading some of your resources work. And then kind of getting you focused on writing that annotated bibliography. And notice here at the end, you have submit a draft. And remember, drafts are not accepted late. So you have to submit this draft by tomorrow evening. It may be tempting to skip some of these if you're running late on the draft. Please seriously consider doing them in this order because they help you. I mean, the activities are designed to help build you towards your project. One thing I just want to quickly emphasize, so this is that annotated bibliography, analyzing the purpose of it. And I just want to emphasize, let's find, okay. The main thing here is a lot of people, because it's such a different genre than what you're used to working in, an annotated bibliography is simply a bibliography. So if you think in terms of it's just the list of the references, and then under each reference, so here's the full bibliographic citation, that's an APA style, and under each reference, you then put that paragraph or two of information, and the assignment for this prompt is asking for a summary and then an evaluation of the credibility and authority of the source. So bam, full bibliographic reference, summary. Full bibliographic citation, summary. Let's see if we have it again here. Examples, nope. Yeah, here, full bibliographic citation, And then here's where they say seawall. So seawall is explaining, they're referencing the author, and then starts the summary. Again, so full bibliographic citation, and then summary. Okay, well, and actually that's just talking about it. Here we go. There's the sample. So there's full bibliographic citation and MLA style. Again, you're using APA. And then there's the annotation, and it's a long one in this case. And here's another one, full bibliographic citation, that's APA style. And then there's the annotation. There's another one, full bibliographic citation, in this case Chicago style. Realize there's different styles. And there's the annotation. So these annotated bibliographies, that's how they're organized. Full bibliographic citation, annotation. Full bibliographic citation, annotation. And for project 2, you have an introduction before them all, a conclusion after them all, and they should be alphabetic order by author's last name. So keep all that in mind as you're drafting. Okay, I've been rambling for 11 minutes. Hopefully you watch this faster. And I hope you have a good day, and I look forward to seeing your work tomorrow.